Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Pepper and Salt Podcast. I am Gideon Bradley.
I'm Barrett Gobelow.
And yeah, we're on episode 7. It's went by really quickly. It's been a lot of
Crazy.
fun.
It's crazy.
Say we just get right into the NFL news.
Let's
A
do
lot
it.
of stuff happened this week. A lot of happy reactions maybe on one side. A lot of defeat on the other side. So I'll let you guys go first.
All right, man.
Winners.
So this Titans-Saints game. Dude. This game, as it's been all season, this game was absolutely insane. Titans came out getting sacks left and right, which was kind of expected because it's been happening every week up to this point. Jeff Simmons was absolutely continuously murdering quarterbacks like he has been all season. And the game was insane. It was back and forth. Titans seemed to be in control through the first half, and then second half started, and they immediately go down and force a fumble. Some dude, again, no one's ever heard of. I think we've played like 83 players at this point. We're like almost at a record.
So much depth.
So, dude goes down there, forces a fumble. We go down and score. And the offense is still looking a little shaky, but they're finding like dimes in the rough, man. Like Marcus Johnson, a wide receiver, dude balled out. Had over 100 yards. Nobody's ever heard of this dude. He's absolutely killing DBs. AJ still get the drops, but it's okay because they're picking it up. You know, they're picking it up wherever they can. Running game still kind of a mess, but I think that a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that they're all still trying to get their feet because you got a bunch of people that really hadn't played.
Yeah.
But also that Saints defense is legit, like
Really good defense.
fully legit. So it didn't really surprise me that the struggles were there, but man, they just find a way, dude. We'll go ahead and just talk about it. The pass interference call against Tannehill, that was trash. I'm a Titans fan. I'll tell you that was trash. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. But you're not going to give it back to him. You're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
You're going to go get your points if you can get your points. But that call was terrible. But then you turn around and Byard gets called for a pass interference in the end zone that was absolute garbage. So it's kind of like it was give and take. Saints drove all the way down there, scored a touchdown. It started to look a little sketchy at the end. It was nervous.
Yeah, it was crazy to the end of the game.
Nuts, man. They go down there to get the 2-point conversion. Titans end up D'ing up and keeping them from getting in there. And then, of course, the only thing that people can talk about is the fact that the pass interference call happened. It's literally all I've heard the entire week. Not about how good the Titans played. Not about the fact that they're still the top seed in the AFC, even though they don't have their best running back and one of their best wide receivers, and they've literally been injured at every level constantly all season. But it was crazy, man. Like, I'm just, like, loving it. This ride is insane. Like, I feel like if Vrabel's not in the talk for Coach of the Year, I don't know what you have to do.
He definitely should be up there. When you touched on, the wide receivers, I actually have a question for both those main wide receivers. I'll start with AJ. Do you like, as a Titans fan, do you expect him to play better than he has been playing?
I'll say this. I don't know that it's all on him. I mean, he does have the drops, but I think a lot of coverage is being rolled to him now, and I don't think he's not a surprise anymore. He's the primary piece to that receiver core, right? In the last 2 weeks, who has he drawn? Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, yeah. He's one of his best corners.
Yeah, right.
Marshawn Lattimore.
And
he's
you see what I'm saying?
He's getting a lot of attention.
And I mean, he, at a press conference today, and he made a good point. He was, he's like, it's my job to get open, and it doesn't matter who's covering me. But at the same point, it kind of does matter. If you're drawing double coverages and you're drawing safety help, that's why Marcus Johnson's getting 100 yards.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and AJ made a good point. He's like, if I'm having to draw that coverage, I have no issue as long as we're winning. Like, I'll draw 2 guys on me to get a guy open so that we win. And that's what's great about the Titans. That's their mentality. They don't care about individual stats. They don't care about any of that stuff. They're playing to win the games. And right now, man, Vrabel's got them playing, dude. They go into every game believing they're going to win. If if they get down, they don't panic, they don't freak out. They I feel like regardless of what the score is, they always have a chance.
Yeah.
And they're never out of a game. And like I said, if Vrabel's not in the conversation for coach of the year, I don't know what you need to do. I mean, you've literally played like 82 dudes. You're approaching the records for how many people have hit the field and started for you, and you're still winning games like that. Like, the Saints are no joke. They're legit. Even with a backup quarterback, that defense is insane. And the fact that you can go in there and perform like that and get a win like that, man, that's stuff you got to build on, and that's how you get into the playoffs, and that's how you get deep into the playoffs.
And with that, the other question for the other wide receiver was is Julio worth it? Like, is all this games that he's missing, he's taking the salary cap, is all that stuff going on with Julio, is it worth it when you have him on the field?
I'm gonna say this, and I said this from the beginning. You remember when this first started? What did I say?
Taking a couple games out of Julio.
I said
game for the playoffs.
I said if Julio only plays half the season and he's in there for the playoffs, as a Titans fan, I'm happy. I feel like you've made a good deal. And now you're building all these other pieces, right? Because you got Westbrook-Akina, you got Marcus Johnson. And just think about when you get Julio back out there with AJ, Marcus Johnson, Westbrook-Akina, that wide receiver core is legit, man. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't care. We're 8-2. And as long as we can keep that top seed, and right now we're basically a game and a half up for top seed, and you've beat all the contenders, so even if they tie you, you're still going to win. You know what I'm saying? You literally have knocked off all the top contenders in the AFC, basically. So, yeah, give me Julio in the playoffs. Like, I love the decision to sit him because your depth is good enough. As long as you can lean on your defense right now and win games, or at least keep them close enough to win until you can get Henry back, hopefully, for the playoffs, and get Julio back healthy after the bye, right? Then it doesn't matter. The rest of that does not matter. So, me as a Titans fan, I'm happy with it. I still think it's worth your second-round pick if you can get Julio into the playoffs healthy with AJ and all these other receivers, and if somehow you can get Derrick Henry back in the mix for the playoffs, dude, watch out because they're winning games without any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, those are at this point, those are bonus pieces with the way everything's been going. So no, I'm happy. I'm good with that deal. I'll take him for a second rounder all day long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a Titans fan, I mean, you look at it like you said. I mean, y'all just got done beating the Rams and the Saints without Julio and Derrick Henry, and banged up cornerbacks and just a lot of stuff. So I don't know. If I was a Titans fan, I'd be really happy about saying that, especially record-wise.
Are you kidding?
Y'all have the best record in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying, man. I love it. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for?
When's the last time you were this excited?
Dude, I don't even know, man. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And I'm trying to just, like, keep it low-key, you know? Like, I'm trying to do like Vrabel says, just take her one game at a time, you know? But, man, it's absolutely – it's a wonderful thing to be a Titans fan right now. We got room on the bandwagon. So if y'all want to get in here, come on, man. It's warm. It's warm in this bandwagon. Let's go.
Do you think the Titans are a Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? That defense, if they can, my only concern right now is the offense, right? They've got to find something with that running game, even if it's not a lot. They got to find something. So, that concerns me a little bit because they've just had such a hard time running the ball. But then again, it's kind of hard to judge it because you've played two really good defenses back to back, right? And you did really well against both of them, but it doesn't look great on the screen, right? You're watching it and you're like, man, this is like pretty lackluster offense.
Yeah.
But it's because it's hard to, I don't know. I'm hoping that running game will come around because I feel like if you can start getting some chunk plays, you know you're not going to have anything back there that's going to equal Derek. But if you can average 50 yards a game, 60 yards a game rushing, I feel like you can win. Because all you got to do is get enough to make your play action believable. If your play action is believable, Titans can win. It's literally what they live and die off of is play action. So I think they got a chance. And I'm not going to lie. Did I look a little sideways when Le'Veon Bell got cut? I'm not gonna lie. I took a left eyeball and I put it over there because I was like, Le'Veon Bell got cut.
I don't know if y'all need Le'Veon.
I know. I'm just saying.
That'd be interesting though.
I saw it and I thought about it. I did think about it in my brain for like a half a second.
That would help. I mean, a receiving back type of player.
I looked at it. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at it, but then again, our locker room's a pretty good place right now.
Yeah.
Not sure if you want Le'Veon in your locker. I'm not sure where that's at, but I'm not gonna say I didn't look at it.
Seahawks might need him
for sure. So speaking of that, let's transition. We'll go to our another Homer pick of the week. Gideon Seahawks, man. I'm just gonna let you get in on this, bro. I'm gonna let you just jump in because I know you're. We had to delay the podcast 2 days because he had to recover. So we're getting in right now. We're gonna let him throw down and get it out of his system now because I know it's been rough.
The Seahawks are absolutely trash, and I'll hit you with this. It's not even just our players. I'll say this: Russell Wilson didn't have his best game, obviously, but he just came off an injury. I wasn't expecting him to go out to perform. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball 80, 90, 100 times, whatever. We don't have Russell Wilson. We have Geno. Let's ease Russell Wilson into the game. Let's run it a little bit more. We don't do it. We have him drop back 40-something times. So I'm just not surprised he threw 2 interceptions. He honestly should have thrown 3. Defensively, we played really good defensively. We played amazingly defensively. I mean, the last touchdown was just basically the game was over. But in the third quarter, it was 0-3. It was a winnable game. Jamal Adams had his best career game as a Seahawk. He was everywhere. He picked up Aaron Rodgers. He played very well. DK Metcalf didn't play very well. And he got very emotional after the game. It is what it is. I'm just trying to think of everything else. Trey Brown, our rookie cornerback, he's been playing very well for us ever since we put him in. He's been playing very good.
Saw him out there balling out, man.
Yeah, he's playing so good. I mean, and the rest, everything else is just unforgettable because I can't even remember it.
Well, man, I feel like the crazy part was like they were in the game for so long before it spiraled, right? It was like one of them old school, like it was 0-3 forever, it felt like. Mm-hmm. And they would just kept like Green Bay would get down there and they get the ball back. And Green Bay get down there and they get the ball back. And Seahawks, man, they hung in there like forever considering how bad offensively it looked, right? Like, because to be honest with you, for the majority of the game, Aaron Rodgers didn't look much better. I mean, it was a rough offensive game, and both those defenses absolutely dominated on both sides. That Green Bay defense looks pretty legit. And I feel like Russ definitely was rusty, but I felt like Aaron was rusty too, but I feel like Seahawks, man, they got to get that running game going, man. Like,
we need to.
I feel like that's the problem, man. Like, that's what they live and die off of. And if that running game, they're kind of similar to the Titans, man. If that running game's not going, it's going to be a long day. But also, they got to figure out how to get DK out of his own head. DK is like, I don't know, he lost his mind, man. Like, he like tried to rip a dude's face off by his face mask, gets kicked out of the game, and then tries to get back in the tries to sneak back in the huddle like nobody's going to notice DK getting back on the field. He's like the biggest dude out there. Like, come on, bro.
Well, I mean, he said he was angry because, they lost. He's tired of losing. I'm sure everyone is tired of losing on that team. You don't see Russell Wilson go out grabbing someone's face mask. So, I mean, he definitely needs to get that under control, but it's not something that I fear or I fear the locker room. But like you said with running the ball, if we had Chris Carson, maybe we could run the ball, but he just cannot stay healthy. At this point, trading Chris Carson wouldn't be a bad idea because he just cannot stay on the field. He's one of those talents, like, I'm trying to think, like Jamal Charles or something like that, who Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, they're so good, but they're barely on the field for you. Yeah. That's what Chris Carson has been for his time in Seattle. He's had, like, really good games in the beginning of the season. Then during that middle of the season stretch, he gets hurt. And then usually we can get back to the playoffs, but the playoffs don't look like that's a guarantee. Absolutely not a guarantee. Absolutely not a guarantee. It's a bad NFC, but we need to start winning some games. It's win now time. It's absolutely win now time, and we play the Arizona Cardinals. So,
and Kyler maybe coming back. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely, that's a gotta win it. I mean, you don't win that one, you might as well lose the rest of them, I guess, because you go 3-7, it's gonna be all she wrote. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next game. We're gonna move on to some games from last week. Dolphins and Ravens, man. Like, who? What?
This shows you one how bad offensively and defensively the Ravens are. Defensively, they don't look amazing, but that offense is Lamar Jackson and nothing else. And it was really evident. It was like so obvious because once they contained Lamar Jackson, he wasn't able to scramble and make those plays.
It's over.
They can't do anything. The wide receiver's not good enough. Offensive line didn't look too good, and then defensively, just too banged up. So,
yeah, and you can tell they got a weakness at wide receiver because literally them dudes were zero blitzing with straight up man coverage and getting home every time. Like, if you can't beat a zero blitz, you got a problem at wide receiver. Like, let's be honest. Because that's straight up man coverage, everybody else blitzing with no safety help. And they never beat it one time. They ran that coverage the whole game. And I was just in awe, man. I was like, that's insane. And I'm sitting here going, did the Dolphins just write a blueprint to beat the Ravens? Like, what the heck? But they zero blitzed nonstop the entire game. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody run a defense like that. And they did not change it up at all. They stayed true to it the entire game. Zero blitzing all the time. Third down, they're coming. Everybody. And it was insane. And to see Lamar was just absolutely frustrated. I'd never seen him so lit up on the sideline. He was so angry. And it was insane. And then Tua comes out and
plays great.
Plays great. I mean, even in all the noise, dude comes out and plays really good against the Ravens. The first half was pretty sketchy, not gonna lie. And the weirdness was like, so Tua was healthy enough to be a backup, but not start.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, what? What are they doing out there? I don't know what's happening in Miami, dude. But
they need to trust Tua a little bit more. I feel like if you're not going to trade for a quarterback, then throw the quarterback that you have out there. If he's ready enough to back up, then I'm sure he's ready enough to start. So, I mean, and I feel like also with Tua, I think the reason people look at him this way is one, Justin Herbert, he was taken before him, and basically Joe Burrow was in that draft class as well. So all these quarterbacks are playing good, and Tua last year had the better team out of both of them, and he's played up and down. So, and I feel like with Ryan Fitzpatrick there last year, and they always swapped him in and out, that really hurt him.
Oh God, yes.
Quarterback.
My thing is like, okay, if that's your guy, or even if you don't know, like, what's the benefit to playing Brissett? Like, what are you gonna? Yeah. He's not gonna be your starter, and you don't know it. Obviously, you don't have confidence in Tua, but you need to see what you have. Like, you need to know because when the offseason comes around and you're back in them sweepstakes again, you need to know what you can get for him because you're not going to keep him and go after another quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on down there, man. But I don't feel like Tua's gotten a fair shake. To be honest with you.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't think he's gotten a fair shake. I don't think they wanted him, or it felt like maybe there was differing opinions on what he was. But that game was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the Dolphins absolutely dominated the Ravens like that. I don't know if there's any human being that picked that at all, especially after what the Ravens have been doing to people and the way that Dolphins defense has been playing, which was not great. That was crazy. But yeah, let's get back to the next game. So the Chiefs, they are they back to what they were? I mean, they came out to Vegas and dominated the Ravens. I mean, the Raiders. They put it on them. So is that what they are, or
the Raiders are just not that good? I just think the Chiefs are playing. They have an easy schedule, and that's how I see it. I feel like the Chiefs, they got like five, they're first in their division now, which is crazy because a couple of weeks ago you were saying Chargers, the Broncos were looking good, the Raiders, and now the Chiefs are back to where they were. Are they the same team? No, but playoff hopefuls for sure.
Right, and
So,
and if nothing else, I'll say the scary thing is they've been as lackluster as they have, and look at where they sit in their division now.
yeah,
They're back in first place.
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, you would have thought the way they were playing, they'd be 6 games behind in their division.
For sure.
No one in the AFC West wants to win it, man.
Especially how the Raiders and Chargers started off.
Yes,
And the Broncos. So.
yeah, I feel like I don't want to say they're back because I feel like the Raiders are a good team, but I think there's just too much noise, man. There's too much going on. There's too much happening around that team and around everything that's happening there. I think it's just too much of a distraction. And I feel like I don't know that it makes me wonder if at some point they can put it back together. But you could definitely – I feel like that was a distracted team. I
feel like it's too late for them.
And I don't know if they can put this thing back on the road because, man, they have such a good team, and they were playing so good. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do feel like the Chiefs are back on the right track, and I think the NFL should probably be afraid because once that offense gets going, and they looked really good against the Raiders, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he threw 5 touchdowns.
Yes, I'm like, okay, we're trending back in the right direction. So I think that the NFL should definitely be afraid. And like I said, I feel like I think it's too much for the Raiders to overcome. Man, I don't know that they can crawl out from under all that distraction. I think it's just too much, and you could tell the way that the Chiefs absolutely dominated them. I don't know, man. But then we got to get to this. I know we don't normally talk about Detroit Lion games, but Detroit and Pittsburgh
tied.
Like,
wow,
Detroit can't even win the games they should win.
Let's talk about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should be ashamed of themselves for not winning that game.
They should.
Detroit is terrible.
However, Detroit came out swinging.
Yeah, and
then still couldn't win the game. Like, I think you can officially say they're cursed now. Like, I think it's over. There's definitely something. There's some kind of voodoo magic happening there. I don't know, but I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever that they ended in a tie. I was like, of course. That's the way that you don't go 0-17. You get a tie.
Have you seen the Jared Goff memes? It'd be like 0 and then 16 because his number and then 1. Yeah, the Lions are just they're terrible.
They're terrible, but obviously also Pittsburgh is not that great.
Yeah, Pittsburgh did not look very good.
But yeah, I thought it was hilarious. How are you going to get a tie? You can't even get one win. It's got to be a tie. Come on, man. So the next one, man, we got to go to this Rams 49ers game. What is going on with Matthew Stafford?
I think maybe it's one of those things where the Seahawks last year, they started off really hot. Then during that middle of the season, the offense just kind of crumbled apart. Maybe that's what the Rams are doing right now. Maybe people are understanding that they're looking for the long shot. They got Odell. I mean, I can't tell you what's wrong with the Rams because a couple of weeks ago we were saying this is one of the best teams in the NFL. Now they're coming off back-to-back losses to the Titans and the 49ers. The 49ers are not that great of a team. You acquired Odell Beckham Jr. and Von Miller and still did not look very good. So
and it's almost like you got worse.
It is almost like you got worse.
I mean, you also got to know, Robert Woods blew out an ACL in practice, so he's done for the season. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Has their offense just been figured out? Like that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, did we just figure out like, okay, did the Titans create a blueprint to beat them? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know either because it's like they look absolutely terrible on offense. which is crazy because they were literally like one of the most high-powered offenses in the league leading up to this, and now all of a sudden they're terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they can't go down the field and score. I
No.
mean, Matt Stafford is throwing terrible. I mean, not one interception was bad. The other one was the tight end's fault for dropping it. But that one to Odell was really questionable. Maybe if it was a fourth down, you want to do an arm punt, but yeah, it's just questionable reads. Matthew Stafford playing like he's on the Lions right now. Doesn't look good.
He's looking rough for sure, and I don't know, man. I don't know if they need to back up and punt, figure something else out on offense. They need to change something up because obviously they've been figured out. Because it looks like the last 2 weeks they can't move the ball, they can't get any kind of rhythm, and they can't score. And it don't matter how good their defense is if their offense can't score.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. So I don't know, man. That was crazy though. I can tell you I didn't see that coming. I figured with that extra week, with all that going on and them getting all those players and then coming off that loss, I thought they were going to come out guns blazing and kill the 49ers. Absolutely not. Matthew Stafford goes right back to throwing interceptions. So I don't know, man. And I don't know how much longer you can stay on that bandwagon because it's looking rough over there. They need to find somebody to play. They need some get right games because it's looking rough over there. And you just lost a get right game when you lost the 49ers. So I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that. But let's give it up, man. One of the more I guess feel good storylines. I think everybody was kind of excited about it. Was Cam coming back to the Panthers, man?
Yeah, I was super excited to see that.
I mean, came back against the Cardinals. Mind you, the Cardinals were down like all their good players.
Oh yeah. Don't forget that. Don't forget the Cardinals were without D-Hop and Kyler Murray.
But let's give the Panthers their due because you already knew they had a good defense, and they absolutely annihilated Colt McCoy. But Cam came out, man, and on like no practice, no nothing, got in there a few snaps, scored 2 touchdowns, looked like old Cam. I mean, that run to the outside of the end zone to score was
classic Cam Newton.
Classic. So, I mean, that was old school Cam right there.
Yeah, Cam Newton and P.J. Walker both played pretty well in that game. But yeah, it feels right to see Cam Newton back on the Panthers.
It does, man.
And now the Panthers are sitting in that wild card spot in the NFC.
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting. Can they stay there? Can Cam or what? I think they're gonna stick with Cam as a starter.
I think so too.
So can Cam consistently play like that? And can that Panthers team, which Stephon Gilmore is starting to play really good for them,
dude,
and
that defense is legit. I'm telling you,
Cam has some more weapons than he did before when he was in Carolina. So
you got Christian McCaffrey back.
You got Christian McCaffrey. That team looks interesting.
I'm telling you, dude, they can make a run, and their schedule works out to where they can get a good amount of wins stacked up against people in their own division. Because I think they end with the Bucks twice.
Yeah.
And the Bucks are looking a little shaky. We'll get to that. But what I'm saying is they got those divisional games still lined up. They haven't really played their divisional games at all. And all that's coming down the stretch. So they basically kind of hold that opportunity in their hand. And they can make that happen for themselves. And I think they're good enough to do that. If Cam can come back anywhere close to what Cam was, I think they got a chance for sure. And because I think that's what they were missing. I think they were missing that quarterback presence, that leadership presence, somebody to not make mistakes. I've been telling you, man, I'm like, if they can just find somebody to not make mistakes, Carolina can be legit because their defense is good enough and they got enough weapons on offense to make it happen.
So do you think Sam Darnold's done?
Oh, he's
as a Panther.
I think Sam Darnold may be done. Period. I think I think he's got a bright backup quarterback setting in his future. I mean, you had 2 chances, man, and you can't. You can say the Jets all day long were your problem, but when you come to Carolina and you had what you had in Carolina, and the same thing happened, it's you, bro. It's not them.
Yeah.
Like it's you. They gave you every opportunity to succeed, and you didn't. So obviously, it's you, bud. Sorry, bud. It's not me. It's you for sure. You're done. Yeah, I think he's done, man. I don't think he'll. And the crazy part is they guaranteed him all that money.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck were
Yeah,
they
Taylor Mike- They
doing?
traded what, a second pick for him? A second round pick for him?
Dude got like $19 million to come over there and be terrible. It's horrible, man. And speaking of the Bucks, told you we are going to get to that. Washington football team absolutely dominated the Buccaneers. What? I don't even know where to go anymore. I don't know what's happening. I feel like you can just flip a quarter on these games and you'll have a better shot at picking who's going to win. Because there's no rhyme or reason as to what's happening anymore. I mean,
Washington football team is not better than Tampa Bay, but they went out there and they beat Tampa Bay, which is crazy to me. Obviously Tom Brady didn't have a good game. He at one point he was like 1 for like 5 yards and 2 interceptions.
2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tom Brady is gonna have to play better for them to win. If I was a Buccaneers fan, I'm not stressing because your division's not that great. The Saints are and the Panthers. You gotta wait a couple more weeks to see. But the Buccaneers just need to play better. I wouldn't say they're a Super Bowl favorite.
No.
I definitely wouldn't say they were as good as they were last year. I think they're one of the better NFC teams. But I say if Tampa Bay meets the Cowboys again, I don't know how that game goes.
I know how that game goes. Cowboys can beat them.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think they just got too many injuries, man. I think if they can get healthy, just make it through, get healthy, and get to the playoffs, and be healthy, then watch out for the Bucks. But they don't have anything. They don't have enough depth to survive the amount of injuries that they've had to deal with, specifically in their secondary. Their secondary is absolutely decimated, and that's why they can't defend anybody, and that's why they're not good. But the crazy part is that their offense is also suffering. And so then it's kind of like, okay, well, you don't have something to balance out the bad, right? Like if you're losing on defense, you got to have something on offense to be able to carry you for a little while to get that defense back.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they have that. I don't know that their offense is as explosive as it was. And I think they'll get right, but to drop one to Washington,
yeah,
that's rough, man. You can't be dropping games like that, especially with the race for that top seed being what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to play at home, you can't be dropping games like that.
I think the Packers can beat them too.
I do too, right now, and that's what I mean. If they can get healthy, we'll see, but I don't know, man.
Oh yeah. Also, Chase Young with the tear ACL.
Chase Young went down. I was about to bring that up, man. That's tough, dude.
That's tough.
That's tough. But good win for Washington, man. They went out there and dominated them. Like, it wasn't even close. They killed them. Yeah, I try to tell you about Heineke, man. Heineke's full blown beast mode.
I don't know. He's like
full blown beast mode.
We'll have to see.
Hey, don't be coming after Heineke, man. All right, so our last one, man. We got the Cowboys.
So it's such an interesting team because they just lost to the Broncos last week. And they come out here with a win.
They straight murdered. Absolutely murdered. It was never a game at all, ever. Which Cowboys team are you going to get? I don't know. I feel like maybe that Broncos game was just like one of them throwaway games, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know really how good Atlanta is. But also,
they're not great, but still.
Offensively, the Falcons aren't terrible, so the defense looked really good. Diggs got another interception this game.
Probably gave up a touchdown, too.
Yeah, gave up a touchdown. Yeah, but I mean, the Cowboys played really good. They ran the ball really well. Dak Prescott looked really good. Which I'm guessing that Broncos game was mostly him coming back off that injury. Maybe if they had Cooper Rush, they would have won. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, the Cowboys decimated the Falcons. And played really well. I think this is a team that would kink it. Because for me right now, I feel like the Packers are the best team in the NFC for right now. Just because the Packers have been really consistent with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
I can see that. I mean, I'm still on the Cardinals bandwagon because I feel like Kyler Murray, man. I know as much hate as you have for him, the way that team's constructed, if they're healthy, because right now they literally been playing with none of their starters on offense.
Colt
McCoy. and a backup running back. Right? Well, no, I don't know. They had Connors. Yeah. So, like, they literally have, like, no starters right now. They're injured as everything. But I'm telling you, man, when that team gets back on the field, bro, and they gave Green Bay all they wanted. And should have probably won. If it wasn't for that miscommunication in the end zone, Arizona wins that game. And we're having a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like Arizona's probably the best team in the NFC when healthy. I think right now, as it sits, Green Bay's probably the best, just with the injuries being what they are and everything being what it is. But my money's on Arizona when they get healthy. I think I personally think they're the best team in the NFC.
It sucks. I don't want to say that.
I know you don't, bud, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie, bud. They're the best team, bar none. But it will be the NFC side of the playoff picture will be very interesting because there are some powerhouses out there, and if the Rams can get their stuff together, I think that they're definitely a contender too. But who knows what's going on with them? I don't know. Sean McVay can only blame himself for so many things before he's got to realize that something's going on with his team. So let's transition over to these pick'ems.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a terrible week last week. It was bad. I'm losing now.
I'm in the freaking league.
I'm losing now.
I'm in the league.
I'm down by 1, 31-30. Because I literally just trash canned it last week. So this week, we're going to have to go through our pick'ems and hopefully I do better because, man, it was bad. It was bad at this point. I might as well go ahead and buy my Colts jersey the way it's been going. So first game, man, that's the game tonight. Pats, Falcons.
The Patriots?
Patriots, Falcons. Who you got?
The Patriots, absolutely. Give me Mac. Mac attack.
Feel the same way. Falcons are trash. I picked you last week. You let me down. You're terrible. Falcons are trash.
You picked the Falcons to beat the Cowboys?
I did. That
oh
was
my gosh.
That was my hey.
Oh my god.
Hot take. It was not a great hot take.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was a bad idea.
That's an interesting take.
I learned a life lesson there. Don't ever pick the Falcons for anything ever.
Falcons suck.
So the next game, Ravens Bears.
It's more interesting.
Much more interesting than I ever would have given it credit for. I'll pick first on this one. I'm definitely going Ravens. I just don't think the Bears have it together, man. I don't think that there just doesn't seem to be enough there yet. I don't think Fields is there yet. And I feel like the Ravens are going to come out like absolutely on a tear to get back what didn't happen in Miami.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going Ravens on that one.
I'm going Ravens too. Just because the Bears offense, Justin Fields is getting hit way too much. Like he's getting hit almost every play. Defensively, the Bears are good, but offensively, I don't think they're good enough.
I agree.
Even with the banged up Ravens team, I don't think they're good enough.
I agree. The next one, this one's interesting for sure. Packers Vikings in a divisional matchup. Which Vikings team's going to show up?
Yeah.
The one that gives up 23-point leads or the one that dominates the Chargers?
I would say just like the Bears, Aaron Rodgers owns the Vikings, and the Packers are going to win.
I feel the same way. You know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. And everyone that has ever watched this podcast knows how I feel about the Vikings. They are trash.
I won't be surprised if the Vikings win this, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me how the NFL has been this year.
It would surprise me because the Vikings are trash. It surprised me they won last week.
Are the Chargers trash?
No.
Vikings beat them.
Just the Vikings because the Vikings are trash.
You're going to trigger the Vikings fans.
There's no Vikings fans that watch this. I'm surprised there even are Vikings fans. Vikings are trash. All right, so this one's also interesting. Colts Bills.
God. The Colts could just run the ball the whole game against the Bills and maybe win.
I know. This one kind of worries me. I'm telling you.
And we just saw the Bills lose to the Jaguars.
You're right.
That Colts defense is better than the Jaguars defense.
100%.
Give me Indianapolis Colts.
Oh my God.
Give me the Colts.
Hot take.
Sometimes you gotta have a hot take in there.
Dude.
But I don't feel like this one's that hot. I mean, the Bills are struggling sometimes, man. Sometimes in those games they struggle. I feel like how Jonathan Taylor has been running the football, Colts can win that game.
You're right. I'm gonna take the Bills. I think Josh Allen gets right here, and I feel like I know we got a Colts fan out there. I feel like a quarterback is questionable. It's still questionable. And so are the mistakes going to be made there? I don't know. But I'm going Josh Allen. I think he wins this game. And I think he has a big game. I think he puts them on his shoulders and he's like, "Let's go, boys. I'm taking you to the playoffs." So the next one is the Dookie Bowl. The Lions and the Browns.
Yeah, get the Browns. Lions aren't good. They can't win that game if the Browns came up there with like their janitors on the field. Their Lions are terrible.
I also agree that the Lions are terrible. I feel like I'm going to go Browns as well. I think Baker Mayfield's going to get right this game, and I think he can definitely beat the Lions.
Is Baker even going to play?
I think so. He's practicing.
I know
he's got like 16 injuries.
Yeah.
So, but I think he's going to play, and I don't know that he would have to play.
Yeah, I don't think he has to play.
They're like Browns backup would probably beat him.
I feel like they just run the ball the whole time.
But yeah, I'm going Browns on that one too. Next one, this one could be interesting. Washington football team against the Panthers. The Cam-led Panthers.
I think Cam gets it done.
Against Heineke?
Yeah, no, not Heineke. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Cam.
I think that Panthers defense is too good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think that the football team's defense is not good enough. So
not anymore without Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young being hurt, man. That's tough. Especially having to play against Cam. And he'll be pretty fresh early in the season. A healthy Cam I feel like, has the potential to be scary. So I'm gonna go Panthers on that one too. I think I have a feeling they're hitting their stride. I think if they can string some wins together here, they're gonna show us something. So the next one, Texans Titans. Texans are pretty close to. Yes, we are going to this game. Texans are pretty close to the worst team in the NFL, just slightly above the Lions. Titans coming off a big win in New Orleans.
Yeah, there's no way Texas beat the Titans here. There's no way. I can't imagine it.
It has trap game written all over it. However, the Texans are terrible. So I think the Titans stay focused. It's a home game. I think the Titans come out here and get it done.
I believe the Titans go out there and get it done as well.
I do too. I mean, come on, man. You can't let the Texans beat you. Not now. You got to keep that 1 seed, man. So the next one, 49ers Jags. 49ers dominated the Rams. Jags got back to their losing ways.
Yeah, the 49ers beat the Jaguars. There's no way the Jaguars beat the 49ers. Not how that 49ers defense is playing.
Yeah, that defense is playing pretty lights out. And the Jags are the Jags, so they will probably lose. Yeah. I'm also going 49ers, man. I can't pick the Jags. They're awful. So here's your toss-up game, okay? You got the Dolphins and the Jets.
God.
Toilet bowl.
I like what I saw at Tua last week. I think they go and they roll out with Tua this game. I think they can beat the Jets.
I'm also going Dolphins, but I'm going to tell you why. Joe Flacco starting at quarterback. You're done.
Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback.
You're done. You're done. Like, just pack it up. You're quitting. If you're starting Joe Flacco, you're quitting. No. We're going Dolphins. I think Tua gets it done, and I think the Jets have given up. They're going to see if there's some possible way that they can get back into the top 5 again in the draft for like the 20th year in a row. Next one, man. This one has the potential to be a good one. One team trending down, one team trending up. So you got the Saints and the Eagles. This can be a good game. I'm telling you.
This could be a game.
The Eagles have been looking a lot better lately. They're trending up. They're trending in the right direction, I feel like. Saints are coming off 2 losses. So 2 in a row, which is like the first time Sean Payton's lost 2 games in a row in like, I don't know, ever. So,
I think the Saints beat them. I think the Saints are gonna be able to, because people forget Titans are still a good team. They compete with the Titans. Saints defense is really good. Alvin Kamara is really good. I think the Saints can win that game.
yeah, this is a tough one, man. Yeah, I don't think the Saints drop 3 in a row, even with a backup quarterback. So I think I'm gonna have to go Saints too, man. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eagles in that game and even maybe win it late.
Yeah, I can see the Eagles win the game.
Because they've been trending in the right direction. I think they've been they've been kind of getting it right over there. So the next one, this one's a good one. I think this is a full blown toss up. Bengals Raiders. 2 teams have been struggling lately. 2 teams that were early contenders.
I think the Bengals beat the Raiders. I think that offense and the defenses, but I think the offense can finally get it back together for Cincinnati. The Raiders are such a mess. I can't see them recovering from what else happened to them. You have your coach out, wide receiver trouble, this and that, and this and that. I think Cincinnati's gonna be able to pull that one off.
Man, this one's tough, man. This was tough. Because, yeah, I mean, but just the Bengals been struggling so much in every phase.
Yeah.
In every phase. And I just don't know, man. I don't know if the Raiders is a good game to try to get yourself right. Because I feel like the Raiders, after getting destroyed by the Chiefs, are going to come out with something to prove. And that AFC West is still wide open. Right? But so is the AFC North. Everybody's still in it. After Baltimore lost, everybody's fighting for their life out there. Man, that's a tough one. You know what, man? I'm gonna take the Raiders. I think the Raiders can get it done, man. And I think they got something to prove.
They need to throw Mariota out there.
Pump your brakes, bud. Simmer down. I'm gonna go Raiders on that one. So, man, this is legit. This is probably the game of the week right here, bud. Cowboys Chiefs.
That's a good game. Actually,
potential Super Bowl matchup here.
I think the Cowboys are just so much better than the Chiefs, and I think Tyreek Hill on Diggs is a mismatch, but I think Cowboys are just better. I can see the Chiefs beating them, but overall as a team and what we see in games, I feel like Cowboys are better. But if the Chiefs win this game, they're back. They're back to what they were.
So you're going Cowboys?
I'm going Cowboys.
Okay. That is a tough one. But I feel like if any offense can expose the Cowboys defense, it's this one.
Yeah.
And they looked super right against the Raiders. And the Raiders are not a terrible defense. I'm going Chiefs, man.
Wow.
I'm going Chiefs. I feel
believe
like
that.
they're back. And I feel like they know they got to win every game to win the AFC West. Right? Like they know they do. There's not any room for error anymore. You can't drop any more games. You can't play no more games. You can't. There's not any more room to mess up. You got to get it back. You got to do it now. And I don't know that the Cowboys have that much of a sense of urgency as the Chiefs do. The Cowboys are not fighting for their lives yet.
Yeah, no, Cowboys just have a
They're dominating their division. And they're right at the top of the NFC right now. I'm going Chiefs, man.
Wow.
I think they got more on the table. I think they got more to lose. If they lose, I'm going Chiefs. But, man, what a game this is going to be. That's going to be amazing. Next one, this is your homer pick of the week.
Yeah, Jesus.
Cards Seahawks, bro.
Is D-Hop playing?
I don't think so. He hasn't been practicing.
That's good. I think it's gonna be the same situation with Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's gonna come back if he does play. He's gonna come back, probably not 100%. I think this is the best time we can beat the Cardinals. And I'm always gonna pick the Seahawks. I mean, I'm never gonna not pick my team. That if you go against your team, then you're not a real fan.
I agree.
So yes,
Always.
I'm obligated to go with the Seahawks. If I wasn't a Seahawks fan, I'm going with the Cardinals. But I am a Seahawks fan. I think we have some of the right things to be able to beat this team. I feel like if we play Jamal Adams close to the line and we kind of have him follow Kyler Murray, I feel like we can win this game.
Can I tell you the funniest meme I saw this week?
Yeah.
You know who Vince Wilfork is?
Okay. Yeah, I know him and Jamal Adams are tied.
For interception?
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
I've seen it before.
That's the best stat I've ever heard in my life.
I love how
Vince Wilfork, who is like the biggest interior defensive lineman I've ever seen in my life, has the same amount of interceptions as Jamal Adams, a safety.
I love how when a safety or a player is good at something that not many people are, then they want to attack that player. Just because Jamal Adams got some sacks last year doesn't mean. I mean, he probably has more sacks than Vince Wilfork. Let's put it out here. Jamal Adams is a top 5 safety. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay, that's a hot take.
But let's go. How is that a hot take? That's not a hot take. Jamal Adams,
Jamal Adams is basically like an extra linebacker.
Ever since like week 3, has been playing amazingly. The Seahawks just haven't been winning games. We're gonna win this one though. Seahawks win this game 23-21.
Wow, and he's got a score.
I do have a score.
I'm going Cardinals. I feel like the Seahawks they're struggling.
We are struggling.
They're struggling. And I don't know that the Cardinals is a great game to get it right.
Absolutely not. But maybe this banged up Cardinals is the right team, but we'll see.
But I'm going Cardinals. I need to get some points back. And I feel like I'm going to attack your team pick immediately to try to get my point back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta do whatever I can do around here, man. So the next one, Steelers, Chargers.
That's closer than I would have thought.
Yeah, the Chargers are like, what the heck is going on?
I still think the Chargers can beat the Saints. I mean, I still think the Chargers can beat the Steelers. Man, is Big Ben gonna play?
Don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't go with the Steelers. I can't.
Me neither. The Steelers are trash. It's just in. The Steelers are trash. Big Ben, it's been a good run, buddy.
Yeah.
But you need to hang them up.
Yeah, it's time to hang it up.
And they need to go find a quarterback, and it'll probably be Russell Wilson.
No, it's not. Why? I also those out here because I've actually seen stuff about Russell Wilson. Why would Russell Wilson want to go anywhere else? There's nothing that is given what he already has. He already has 2 amazing wide receivers. Where else is he gonna find that? You're not finding that with the Steelers. You're not finding it with TikTok Boy 1 and TikTok Boy 2.
I don't know, bro.
Why would he go there? Why would he go to the Eagles? Why would he go to the Jets?
I wouldn't go to any of those places, but he would probably go to the Steelers, and I'll give you one good reason why. Mike Tomlin.
I don't care about Mike Tomlin. I look at that offense. That offense is not good.
Somebody's triggered.
I just think I don't think Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson never said he wanted to leave. He's never put his foot forward down saying he wants to leave. This is not an Aaron Rodgers situation. People just make this stuff up out of nowhere or try to cause controversy with our team. That's the reason that we're struggling right now. Ever since Colin Coward or whatever, he wanted to tell us about Russell Wilson wanting to leave. It's been downhill since then.
Triggered him. Got him.
It gets me triggered so quickly.
He's triggered. So, last game, Giants, Bucks. The Giants have been killing people. They've been like a giant killer.
Yeah, let's hold off on that. Give the Bucks.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Nothing-
Giants are. I tried to make it interesting, but
nothing
no.
anyone can say can make me pick the Giants.
No. Daniel Jones.
It's terrible.
Show me you're not trash.
They need to look for a quarterback.
Please show me you're not trash. So that's our NFL picks. Keep sending in those punishments, man. We're still looking at them. We're maybe stacking a couple of them together so we can make it really good. So now we're gonna get to college football.
Interesting with college football.
There was some stuff, man. Some stuff happened. Ole Miss beat A&M, and the game was crazy. It was back and forth the entire time. And then Matt Corral, man, and Ole Miss just took it over, man, and ended up dominating A&M. I didn't think that defense could be dominated. I feel like it's one of the better defenses in the league. But then Ole Miss turns around and plays lights out defense, and absolutely stifles A&M's offense. It was insane.
These SEC defenses are not that great. As a defensive conference, I mean, the defenses have not looked that great in some of these games. But to touch on that game, Matt Corral might be the best quarterback to come in the draft this year. I mean, he's playing really well. He reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel in college. Hopefully, he doesn't turn like that out in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, Ole Miss. If Ole Miss maybe would have, they lost 2 or 3 games. Isn't it 2? Lost
2, yeah.
Yeah. If they had just lost that Alabama game, Ole Miss might be a top 4 team. I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely legit. And I thought A&M had an outside chance if they could have hung around with 2 losses to get themselves in there. But dude, Ole Miss's offense is crazy, and the fact that their defense played that good after they've been playing so bad all season, they must have obviously found something in that A&M offense that they could take advantage of, because they absolutely dominated them, especially towards the end of the game. That game was crazy. I think Matt Corral is probably top 3 for the Heisman right now, for sure.
For sure.
And man, when he hits the draft, I think somebody's getting a great quarterback. The dude is absolutely an athlete and a warrior and a beast. But yeah, and then I think the next one, man, Auburn. First off, they lose to Mississippi State, and let Mississippi State come all the way back on them and destroy them in the second half. But not only that, Bo Nix breaks his ankle, and he's out for the whole season, or the rest of the season. I mean, come on, man.
That sucks to be an Auburn fan.
It's terrible. And then because that's who I thought had an opportunity to beat Alabama. Iron Bowl coming up, Auburn, Alabama. I thought Auburn had a chance to beat Alabama, because that game's always interesting. But
Always.
I thought Auburn had enough offense, and Bo Nix was playing good enough that I felt like they had a chance against Alabama. But not now.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man, that happens like that. Sucks that he broke his ankle. You never want to see that, man. And that kid was playing pretty good, man. He's playing pretty lights out. He's also an athlete. Kind of plays in the same style like Corral. Just not as accurate of a passer, but absolutely an athlete. Dude can scramble and run with the best of them. And man, let's talk about, speaking of SEC, Florida. What is going on?
Florida sucks. Yeah, it's coaching. He's gonna get fired this season. Absolutely get fired.
I mean, you give up 52 points to Samford. Not Stanford, but Samford. They're not even a Division I school. How does that happen?
Never heard of that team in my life.
Exactly. Nobody even knows where they're from. You gave up 52 points. That's insane. And then you have a press conference afterwards and you try to act like a win's a win and you're not going to talk bad about a win? Get out of here, bud. Dan Mullen's got to go, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's got to go. I'm not even a Florida fan. But that's terrible. That's embarrassing. You cannot give up 52 points to a Division II school. You got to go, man. That was insane. And I'm surprised he hasn't already been fired, to be honest with you. It's crazy. And then a running topic we've had ever since our podcast started, Oklahoma.
It's finally coming.
It finally happened. We've been calling it all season. They finally lost against a good team. Baylor came out there and literally rushed for like 1,462,000 yards against them. And they put in Rattler, They put in everybody they could find, and nothing worked. Baylor absolutely dominated them on defense. It was insane. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And you were just waiting for it to happen. Like, you just knew, like, Oklahoma's not that good.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch that game, but man, Oklahoma, I can't believe that. I really can't believe they lost that game. I thought they were going to lose to like a more. Well, they didn't really play that. I mean, they didn't really play that many competitive teams to begin with. But
No, they play in the Big 12. That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to say. Their division's trash. But Baylor's a good team. And Baylor absolutely ran the ball on them like nobody's business. They ran all over them. It was crazy. They got their quarterback, Baylor's quarterback, is an absolute monster. And he destroyed them. And we've been talking about it all year. I've just been waiting for them to lose because literally they're in games, close games that shouldn't be close every week, it felt like, regardless of who their quarterback was. Even when they went away from Rattlers, still was the same story over and over. Their defense is just not good enough. And now we know that the Oklahoma undefeated story is over now. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, no longer part of this.
It's done. And Tennessee, man. Tennessee, Georgia. So I think it's exactly what everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Tennessee hung with them the first half, and then you can just tell that Tennessee just didn't have the depth or the athletes to hang with them the whole game, right? They scored more points on them than anybody has all year.
Yeah.
I think people kind of figured that was going to happen too.
Yeah.
But that was a great game, man. I mean, they played a really good first half. You knew Georgia was going to beat them, and you knew eventually the dam was going to break, I guess, and, you know, as far as that defense is concerned. But it was a great game, man. But yeah, that was a good one. And then we're gonna go to Ohio State, man.
Ohio State might actually be a good team. I mean,
I feel like they are because they ran into Purdue, and you knew it was a trap game, right? Purdue's been killing everybody. All these top 5 teams, they got them hung on their wall, man. They've been murdering them, putting them up like trophies. And I'm like, oh, here comes the trap, right? And so, yeah, you knew that game was a trap. You knew that Purdue was possibly going to come in there and beat them, and Ohio State absolutely murdered Purdue.
yeah.
I thought it was great. And I think Ohio State's legit.
Ohio State beat them so bad they got taken out. They don't even ranked anymore.
Dude, that was crazy. But I do think that they are legit. I think Ohio State can definitely hang on to that top 4, getting that playoff for sure. But so does Cincinnati have a shot?
No, no, they really don't. It doesn't matter how many games they win. I mean, I don't think anyone respects them.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're just hanging around, but they're just right outside that top 4. So it makes me wonder, like, if somebody in that top 4 loses, is it going to be bad enough to kick them out? Or do they just still stay in there? Like, it makes me wonder, like, is that top 4 set and is it a done deal?
It's set. I think it's set, 1 because that's what they want it to be, and 2 because I feel like they are the best teams. I mean, Cincinnati just, even in the beginning, Cincinnati really never struck me as an amazing team that could beat some of these top teams. They're barely hanging in games. I think they need to be a really good team convincingly to get the spot that they think they deserve, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't think they have that left on the schedule, so I don't even know that that's possible. But it would be cool to see one of those little guys make it, man. Like,
it usually never happens.
It doesn't, man. But they're hanging on, man. They're like right outside. They're like knocking on the door, man. And at some point Georgia's gonna have to play Alabama in the SEC title game. So then it's like, do you penalize them for having to play each other in the title game? or are they both still top 4 teams? And that's an interesting question. But college football has been fun this year, man.
Yeah, it's
And I'm looking forward to the playoff for sure. So I think we're gonna move on to the NBA, man. It's been crazy, man. The Warriors are absolutely. I know we've been talking about this a few weeks, but Warriors are absolutely killing people, and they're doing it without Klay Thompson. Like, how scary are they?
I'll say this: Stephen Curry is playing like his 2016-2017 MVP form. I mean,
Dude.
he's shooting the ball, he's just letting it fly. I mean, he's letting it fly from wherever he's catching and shooting. He's been playing really good defense this year too. The Warriors, I mean, they got a lot of pieces. They got a lot of bench pieces that are really, once they want to sit their starters, Draymond and Steph and all those. They got young guys going out there that are playing really well. And I mean, the record reflects it. It shows it. I mean, this team, the Warriors might be back to. I mean, I don't want to say a dynasty, but they're one of the better teams in the NBA.
Yeah, and I feel the same way, man. Like, they seem like they're just a really complete team, and so it's hard to argue like that anybody else is really with them right now because they are just like killing everybody, and it's not just scrubs they're killing. Like, they're killing some of the elite teams in the NBA. I know they beat Brooklyn by like
A
a ton,
A lot.
like 30 points or something.
Yeah,
They wasn't nowhere even close. And Brooklyn's supposed to be on up there, man. It's supposed to be one of the better teams. So, I mean, if you're killing, and you still don't even have your full roster, like that's the scariest part of it. Like, you still got Klay coming in, like, dude, that's legit. But one thing I've noticed is like DeMar Rosen, man, in Chicago, dude, he's looking like a full blown beast. And I know that there were some rumblings about, which I didn't know this before, but he was fully convinced he was going to LA.
Yeah, I didn't know.
To the Lakers. So, like, what would that team look like with Rosen right now?
The Lakers?
Yes.
A lot better than they are right now. Well, I wonder if that trade happened with the Westbrook thing happened. I mean, maybe let's just say hypothetically that they got all those players and they have Rosen in there. That team looks really good and looks a lot better defensively.
For sure.
Because Rosen's playing amazing for the Bulls. That was probably that and Lonzo and Caruso. I mean, the Bulls picked really good. They didn't get the best that were out there, but they got the best pieces.
I think they're like they have a really good nucleus of players that complement each other. Instead of just going to get random stars and get random players, they got people that complement each other's playing style, and it's paying out for them, man. They look good. And Rosen looks amazing. Dude's absolutely killing it. And I know, like we said, the Nets, man, like, it seems like they're kind of trying to get it back together.
Yeah, Nets are not bad. They're just like James Harden's been he's been playing sometimes, playing not sometimes. Kyrie not playing. It's basically been KD and KD. Every time I see KD play, he's the best player. He's the best player on the planet. I mean, KD is so good. He's willing the Nets and he's winning them these games. And I remember when we said who we picked, the Lakers or the Nets. It's looking like the Nets are the better team, surprisingly.
Yeah. And it's crazy that it's like that, and they're missing basically 2/3 of their power, of their power players.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. You're starting a franchise. You going KD or Steph?
KD or Steph?
KD or Steph, bro? It's the question. It's got to be.
I mean, I think I would go KD because I think he's younger than Steph, but I'm not sure. KD just does a little bit more. I'll say when KD really wants to play defense, he can play defense, and KD can also shoot anywhere. He can shoot the three. He can drive. He has probably one of the best mid-range shots in the league. Steph Curry is a little smaller, but I mean he can shoot anywhere. Like no matter how far away.
Unlimited range.
He can shoot. So I'll go KD. I'd say KD can probably do a little bit more for you.
And see, if
That's
I'm
a
going
close one,
like
though.
pure just scoring, like I'm going Steph, man. Dude, I don't know that anybody like. I feel like he's outpaced KD on that.
You
Like
think Steph's a better scorer
score
than
for
KD?
sure. Yes. And I feel like he impacts a game more. Like I feel like he has a bigger impact on the game because his range just makes it so hard to keep up with them offensively. Like you have to go 3 for 3 with him, and are you gonna do that? Like, do you even have the capability to do that? And I mean, it's not gonna be long before they're outpacing you scoring wise.
Yeah.
And solely because of him. He's just like KD's. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Warriors are great, but the Warriors go as Steph goes. And Steph doesn't seem like he has an off night lately.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude is absolutely murdering it at all times.
Yeah, he's been stepping up every single game.
It's crazy.
When they need him, he shows up.
Yes, always. So for me, man, right now, it's Steph, dude. Like he literally has changed the way the game is played. And he makes it so hard to keep up with them that I feel like that's why I'm going Steph every time. And I mean, I feel like me personally, if I was starting a franchise and I got to pick my first player and it was anybody, if I'm looking at KD's injury history versus Steph, I'm going Steph, right? I
So
feel like he's
anybody in the league you're going Steph?
well. I mean, if I'm those two players,
Okay, those two players. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, man, Steph's a full blown beast right now.
For sure.
So let's go. I got a question for you, man. So like, with all the games they play in the NBA, and we've only played 14 games right now.
Yeah, it's not many.
Not a lot. When do they start to matter?
The games in the NBA.
Like when do you hit the panic button, and when are you just like, we got plenty more season to play, don't even worry about it. Like where does the season actually start to where it matters?
I would say maybe 4 weeks before the All-Star game.
Okay.
And I feel like you want to have momentum going into the All-Star week, because then you can use that momentum for the rest of the season. I feel like, so right now, no, it doesn't matter. The Lakers could lose 14 more games. I think they'd be fine. But yeah, I would say a couple weeks before the All-Star game, because you need that momentum, and that week is also really needed for the players to kind of recoup and then, put on that little show for whatever it is. But yeah, I would say right now, no team should be worried for what they're doing right now. Yeah, I would say it's a lot different than like football, because not even close to as many games.
Right.
And yeah, I would say 3 weeks for the All-Star week.
Yeah, and I feel like I'd say I really wouldn't start getting worried until about halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got all them games, and I don't know if that helps or hurts the NBA, because it's tough, because it's like, why, I do think it's funny because you have so much overreaction, right? So like, we get on here talking about, the Lakers are terrible, they're 500, can't beat nobody. And so there's a ton of overreaction because the season just started, right? You got all this expectation, and then season starts and everybody starts overreacting because the season started and teams that you thought were going to be good are not good, or they're not playing well, or, whatever. But I don't know if that really hurts the product or helps the product, because, I mean, I'm kind of like you, man. I'm like, when do I really start, like, really paying attention?
Yeah.
And when do the games really start to matter? And then got the question of the day here. So, with everything that's going on in LA, speaking of the Lakers, do you think LeBron wins another title?
LeBron winning the title in his career. Well, I mean, no, I don't.
Really?
I don't think so. I definitely not this year. I don't even know how much longer he's gonna be a Laker
Really?
at this point for LeBron.
Do you think he moves to another team, or do you think he shuts it down as a Laker That's a whole nother conversation, I
I
guess.
know. That's a whole conversation because I could see LeBron finishing his career in Cleveland, but he would
Really?
want more pieces there. But I feel like the Los Angeles thing was because LA has so much cap room and it was such a big market, and now he's got the big market players and they're not performing well. AD, you don't know how many games you're gonna have him. I mean, I always say about AD. AD's one of the best players in the world. He just cannot be on the court for that long. I mean, yeah, I think with him, he's the one that should be resting. To be honest,
Big man-itis, man.
he just can't stay healthy. Russell Westbrook is selfish. I'll just I'll go ahead and go there. He's just a selfish player.
Try to tell you, man.
He just and people get confused with stats. You can't just go off of stats because you go at stats, you see a triple double player, a guy who's getting 13, 12 assists a game. He's a ball hog. I don't know how he manages to get these assists, but he's just not.
12 turnovers.
He's a team. Yeah, Westbrook is amazing when it's just him.
Yeah.
So that's why Oklahoma fit him so well because he's the guy, and I don't think he's capable of playing with another guy that can do what you do.
That's what I try to say, man. You can't you can only have so many alphas on a team. And at some point, you got to have somebody that's willing to take that backseat role and just be a role player, right?
What Harden's doing for the Nets,
Mm-hmm.
really, like that's.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is I'm surprised he did that because he was the alpha. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always kind of been the alpha guy, especially when he's in Houston. Because he was taking 97 shots a game, it felt like. You know, it's like, but I don't know, man. I don't know if LeBron has another title in him, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it'd be a great story. And I think it'd be awesome to see him win one and maybe like ride into the sunset on a title. That'd be great. But man, I just don't know if the gas is there, man. I don't know if that team is there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see like how this thing shapes up and when they truly start playing. Like when they decide, okay, we're going to hit the gas pedal. We're going to win some games to get into the playoffs, right? Because at this point, I don't think they care where they're at in the playoffs as long as they're in.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think they're trying to get a seed. I don't think they're trying to do none of that. They're just literally trying to backdoor coast into the playoffs and just get in and play. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel the same way. Like I don't know if he's got another one in him. I don't know that he's physically there to be able to do that because it seems like he's either hurt or off all the time. Like when's the last time you really saw him play like a string of games? This season, I haven't.
Yeah. I think it's a waiting game for the Lakers. They just gotta wait till LeBron's healthy, and then I think then after that you can base and see who your team is. Let's see how Westbrook plays with LeBron. I mean, we really just need to see it
because you haven't seen it.
Because if you're not able to have a good flow with LeBron, then you can't really have a good flow with anyone. I mean, because LeBron is an overall amazing player. I mean, he can do everything that you want a player to do, and if you can't win with a guy like that, then I just don't think you're winning. Westbrook will win a chip in his career.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I feel like that's the main reason he joined because I feel like Westbrook feels like he needs that title to justify himself as far as where he fits in the league and where he fits in the history of the league. Because I just he's a stat guy, yeah, but he's not like a team guy, like you said, and I've been saying that the whole time. I thought it was weird that he jumped in to join the Lakers in the first place. I thought that was a really weird fit. Like, cause I'm like you, like go somewhere where there's not a main guy, like you were in Oklahoma, and put a bunch of shooters around you, and you can just drive to the basket all day long and kick it out for threes to dudes on the outside. I mean, that's how the Thunder basically got to the finals and got in the deep playoff runs when it was KD and Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And I'm like you, man. I don't think he's got another one in him. But
Yeah,
it would be good to see.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I would too. But yeah, man, I think that's all we got. Like I said, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and make sure you keep putting those punishments in there because we're still running those pick'ems. But we will catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.